What is up, guys? Talking with Tonka, episode 26, on location at the Q102 studios with co-host Kurt.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I know. You didn't get kicked off. This is phenomenal. No negative comments on episode 25.
What'll happen is it's like Jeopardy. You have to contine to come back if you get good comments
like
until they don't like you enough.
And then we have a special guest in the house that graciously gave us the studio, Nugget.
Yeah.
What's up, Nugget?
What's up, man? This episode is going to sound way better than all your other ones. It's going to sound legit.
I feel like I'm sitting in front of NASA, so I'll be putting pictures up so you guys can see because I don't do video because I'm lazy. And you guys will see. It looks like I'm they're about to direct a space launch. This is incredible. Nugget, thank you. And his real name is Nugget, not Nougat. I call him Nugget just because I'm a dick. But what is your real name?
Sam.
I knew that, but this case,
for other people,
Kurt didn't know.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. So can you give your full government name?
Ooh, oh my God.
Too much.
That's Sam DeBabney. So it's
Is that French?
Jordanian.
Cool.
It's a what?
Jordanian.
So Jordan,
Yeah.
like South Africa.
No. It's Middle East.
I thought Jordan was in South Africa.
I love this. I love this podcast. No wonder everybody listens to it.
Yeah. So this is like a geography class.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought Jordan was in South Africa.
No, I think you're thinking of Georgia, which is also not South Africa. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Wow. I can we put a map on one of these 8 TVs because that is incredible. I thought it was. That's because I sound like an idiot.
I think we've been here for 20 minutes off camera, and I've been laughing at everything Nugget says. If
so
radio
Nugget,
host doesn't work out, you should definitely go for comedian.
If you guys are from the Philadelphia area and you haven't listened to Nugget's show on Q102, make sure you just tune into the show just to get a glimpse of his personality, and then check him out at Nuggets Bingo. Right?
Yeah, so, that's my big push thing right now.
Right, he's killing it with the Nuggets Bingo. We're gonna dive into that, but what I want people to know is if you have like a niche thing that you want to try and you have the personality to do so, just do it. Nugget's doing it.
Yeah, and I don't really know how to do anything.
You just go and give him a hard time. He gives you a hard time back. It's really fun. We came in last week and we were just giving you a hard time the whole time.
Dude, it was my favorite thing ever that you guys came in. I wasn't expecting it at all.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
You knew I was doing it?
Yeah.
Dude, that was the coolest thing ever.
Why don't you fill me and everybody in that didn't get to see it?
So on Wednesdays, we all go. I think you've came once or twice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Wednesday nights at McGillicuddy's here in Manayunk, we go get wings. It's like a wing spot, 75-cent wings. They're really good. They have like 18 different sauces. So we go every Wednesday, no matter what. Even during sips, we'll go there and then go out to one of my buddies' post sips parties. And it's so weird. I feel like I have to look this way, but you guys are over here. So I just happened to see it on Instagram because you were doing it at Canal Side, which is one of their new venues.
It's like their outdoor property,
right.
And then we moved it into McGillicuddy's just because kids are getting back from school. And they have a sound system I can plug right into.
Yeah.
It's just a lot easier.
It's
it's wings.
too.
Like they already have
their
people
wings
there for
are
wings.
incredible.
Yeah, and I'm actually holding my fantasy football draft there next week, so you're gonna have even more people.
Whoa, is it on a Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. Let's time that out.
Yeah,
let's figure that
I'm gonna
out.
try to time it where.
Wait, is that hours?
What?
Is that hours?
What?
Sorry, it's not a podcast.
No. It's my Philly Gaines league.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Well,
all right,
another one. That's the most expensive.
I was like,
that's the most expensive fantasy football league I've ever been in.
Yeah,
it's usually $100 or $150 or some shit.
I had to eliminate some of them because I was doing like 4. I had like every player in the NFL at some point. I'm like, I need this guy to die on the 25-yard line and nowhere past that. So you're wishing for like real weird stuff. So I made it just 2 now. So and higher stakes.
Now I have $200 invested. I feel like. Are you into fantasy sports at all, Nugget?
No, I've never. I've started to because I've started doing. I got one of the gambling apps, and so now I've been doing these parlay things, and it's really getting me into it a lot more.
Yeah, they're not addicting at all.
Yeah,
wait until football.
It's funny.
Comes around.
I always put a 10-teamer in on Sundays.
Never know.
And just see what happens.
Because otherwise, I just don't care.
Yeah,
if I don't
makes it
put
fun
money
to
in.
watch, especially if you're not into sports, right? So I'll put a 10-teamer in just for shits and gigs, and I've hit before.
Yeah,
but I'll only put like $1.
Yeah,
so it doesn't really hit for much.
Mine is like whatever my
$1,000.
balance is left over. So if I spend like $100, $200, I'd be like, all right, wait, I got $3 left over. What crazy?
But everybody makes fun of me because I do the same thing. Oh, how much you got on this? I was like, whatever is left in my account, like 85 cents.
You'd be crazy if you started betting that way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like if you weren't like taking the over on something, but you were like, no, I got to go with this 15 leg.
So let's get to why we're here. Let's dive into Sam, a.k.a. Nugget, a.k.a. Nugget's background. Okay.
Okay.
So where did you grow up?
Detroit. Which is why I like Philly so much because the people in Detroit are a lot like Philly. Everybody here is kind of a dick, but here the difference is in Detroit people are just assholes. Here people are assholes, but they're funny. So it's a lot different. Like
You fit
Detroit
right
people
in.
are just like, perfect analogy for Philly. This is something that could only happen in Philly. I just moved here
Okay.
2 years ago.
That's not just.
Wait, during COVID?
No, this is the story. So I had just moved
Okay.
here 2 years ago, and I was at the gym.
Okay.
And I was doing weights, and some guy put his water bottle where you rack the weights. And so I moved his water bottle. And he comes up and he's like, you're just moving my water bottle? I'm like, yeah, well, if you didn't put it in the dumbest place in the entire gym, I wouldn't have had to move it. And he goes, fuck you. And I go, fuck you. And he goes, anyway, my name's Brian. And we exchanged numbers and we're still friends. That can only happen in Philly. There's nowhere else that's happening.
Actually pretty impressive because I feel
Good to
like
know.
you would have got punched with a weight.
Shout out to Brian.
Brian's a good guy. Sounds like a guy I would like to get wings with.
But you
Invite
can't
him to
have that
Nuggets
anywhere
bingo.
else. That's not happening anywhere else.
No,
Probably not.
No. So you grew up in Detroit.
Yeah.
Did you know Marshall Mathers?
I knew his brother.
Stop
For
it.
real?
No, I'm not messing with you. So I did, I knew him. So
I think
younger
I know
brother,
this
Nathan?
story. Yeah.
Nathan Mathers, his half brother, I did club promotions for a radio station in
actually makes a lot of
Detroit.
sense. Yeah.
So we would see him all the time. And
Was he like a regular like Five Guys? You'd be like, oh, Nathan.
he's,
I thought you'd be at the hot dog.
if it was Philly, you would see him at all of like Smooth's gigs.
That's
He'd
right.
be
Yeah.
like there. He's at whatever's the coolest spot. So I'm talking to him, and he would always like have girls around and stuff. I think he's married now, which is good for him.
Yeah.
But we would call him Partial Mathers in front of the girls, and he hated
Oh
it.
yeah,
I bet.
yeah, that makes sense.
Hated it. But
Did he
what
look
a
like
great
him?
nickname. No, he doesn't look anything like Eminem.
Really?
No. But
So-
he would like meet girls, and obviously they'd be like, oh, I want to meet Eminem. Maybe this will. It
So
was
maybe
at the
you
height
sleep
of
with
Eminem's
me,
career.
then you could sleep with Marshall, kind of deal.
That's what I would
Especially
say
if
if
your
I
name
were
is
him.
Kim.
What does he do regularly now?
I don't know. I think he's like Buster knows him pretty well. I think, but I think they kept in touch longer than him and I did. But I think he does like sales or something. I don't know. Something not rapping.
That's great.
So
I feel like I was
you growing up in Detroit. So what got you in? Were you into? Because I know you DJ too. So like, was music part of your life growing up?
Kind of. So I had a really weird, and this will kind of explain my DJing a lot. If you've ever seen me play, my parents didn't know. We grew up in a really rough part of Detroit, like Detroit.
Like 8 Mile?
Yeah, like I would hear gunshots and stuff
shit.
every night. Yeah,
Okay.
like we're in it.
Yeah.
And so it was one of my birthdays, and my mom was like, "I'm gonna get you a CD." And
Just one CD.
and she's like, "I'm gonna get you a CD." Yo, that's how much money we had, guys.
Yeah. So CD is a big
She was
thing.
like, "Yo, I'm gonna get you a CD. You don't have any music," and I guess she went to Target or Walmart. She went to Walmart and she just went, "Hey, just give me the most popular," because I didn't know any music. She's like, "Just give me the most popular," and it was the Backstreet Boys album where they were all dressed in white on the belt cover.
Millennium?
No,
think
maybe
so.
the one before.
like how
I don't
Kurt
know.
knows the
It's the one where
discography of
Brian has his
It's music.
hands
Yeah.
like on his belt buckle. It might have been a blue.
Well, they're probably all on the cover, so that makes sense. I was
Yeah.
like, who's on the cover?
But he has his hands like around his belt buckle, like pointing to his dick on this cover. So,
Yeah.
I'll Google it. Go ahead.
so she gets that's my first album, and then my second one because now I'm on this path. So she just keeps getting me the most popular album every year. So that's that, and then Spice Girls.
oh my
right?
God.
And so this is my childhood, and I thought that that's what everybody was listening to. And then I got to middle school, and it turns out that's not what every other guy was
No,
listening to,
it's
guys. Yes, that's the album.
What's
So
album
that's the
is
one
it?
that came out in
Oh,
98.
yeah,
I think it's
He
I Want
definitely
It That
pointing
Way.
at his dick.
Yeah.
So it's weird that that's what I remember. So
Yeah, it's really weird.
So that was my music experience growing up, and then I got to like middle school and high school, and I'm still in Detroit, and so all of a sudden I went from that to just only listening to hip hop.
Okay.
And so that's kind of how I DJ, is it's really corny stuff mixed with like the hardest songs you could think of.
Yeah,
That's cool.
But to be honest, like that's what an open format DJ kind of is. I feel like
Right. To some degree, like I feel like I definitely
you
do
got to
some
have your
stuff
own
that
flavor,
makes people
and
go,
you found it.
yeah.
I think it's great because I think every individual DJs just slightly differently, even though we all kind of know music in the capacity that we know it. It kind of tells me more about your background without having to say it, if that makes sense.
I've definitely had some
Yeah.
embarrassing moments. Oh my God, I
We
was
all
at
have.
JJ's and Tonka walked in and I was trying this new thing that I'd never tried before.
I walked
was
up-
trying to do Too Good with Stevie B, Spring Love, and it was not working at all.
In
So
JJ's.
bad.
What did I say to you? What did I say to you? Remember what I said to you?
You were like, you said,
I was like,
it
no,
was good
Nugget.
until that.
I was like, you were doing great until you tried that.
Yeah.
I was like, no,
But there was
Nugget.
nobody that was early.
Yeah.
It was early. It's
So,
not like I was playing it at midnight.
what if you ever want, I could show you how to like change different things to kind of make it work. But those two songs are two different keys. It just won't work. It won't work.
They won't. I've been trying for like
tough.
a month.
Speaking of Stevie B, have you guys played Exit 6 or been to Exit 6 somewhat recently?
Of course,
okay,
yeah.
so I've been playing like Thursday and Sundays, which tends to be like their either industry or off night just to keep open. And obviously you've been there, so it like kind of is their after hours. 1 to 3 is really the time to be there. Recently, I don't want to say I was bored, but like we're just 3 or 4 hours of me and the bartenders and a couple of random people.
Yeah.
I just started going off and was like, I'm just going to play like, you know, MJ and like this, that, the other thing. I was playing some stuff from the 80s, 70s.
Yeah.
I played Martha Luther Vandross. Like that's the type of stuff I was playing.
Did you almost get Martha Stewart and Luther Vandross confused?
Yeah.
Is that where you went?
I almost said Marshall Mathers. I was like, I don't know if we could bring up Eminem 3 times in the beginning of this podcast. But I got such a good response from the bartenders. Now it's almost like expected. Now I have to create basically like 2 set lists of music that like I have
apparently
to play.
that's what they like there.
They love it there.
Yeah,
dude. It's crazy.
And there are a lot of Wildwood. I feel like is Northeast Philly. So if you're playing freestyle and like 90 shit, you'll be golden there.
Yeah, then I've had a lot of, you know, like middle-aged people that were drinking a little bit before the bar really opens up for like nightlife.
Yeah.
And I play that, man, and they almost stay an extra 20, 30 minutes, which is cool. I think that's just cool.
I used to do like freestyle sets at parks when I was a resident there.
I'm not very great at it. I only know like top 10, you know what I mean?
Well, to be honest, you only got to play like 10
Yeah,
hitters
that
and
makes
out.
sense.
See you later. I used to do it at Beach Bar all the time.
I don't know how you guys do that. I don't know how you play for industry people. I have such a hard time playing for industry people. I feel like they're so tired of everything I
was the same way. I'll never forget this. I was playing, I don't know if you were there or not.
Go for it.
Remember when Mad River Manayunk used to do the Santa party that Dave Mass threw, where the DJs were the bartenders too?
Yes, I do remember that.
So there was regular people in the bar, right? So every other DJs playing the niche stuff that only DJs would really like. So I went up there and I just played my normal sets because there's actual regular people there.
Right.
So this kid, I'm not going to mention his name because, you know, it's not worth it, but he came up, he's like, you know, you can play whatever you want, right? I was like, you know, there's other people in this bar, right? Not just DJs. Right. So I'm going to be the one that they like and not you.
Right.
Basically what I said, now go fuck yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just started DJing, leave me alone. You know what I mean? But so the industry people.
I know who it is now.
No, you don't.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, you definitely don't. I don't even think he lives here anymore.
Just like how you made it.
But I was like, don't be afraid to play for industry people because
it's not that I'm not. It's not that I'm afraid. It's that I'm not good at it. Like I can't. Like guys, look at what I do. Like my world is all the corniest shit.
I think you're in your head. You're pretty decent.
My comfort level for playing for the industry people is.
I know what you mean.
You know, I just don't. You know what it is? I don't think I have the library, and I don't really know. You guys just have, when I hear you guys play, you guys have this like shit where I'm like, I don't even know how they heard of this.
Didn't you just start like not too long ago?
Well, I told you what to do. I told you.
You did tell me what to do, but that feels like cheating.
I think you've done it because at Nuggets Bingo last week, you played 2 edits that DJ Spray played on his podcast. I heard 2 of them.
I didn't. I hadn't started doing that yet.
Oh wow! Because I thought you did because I heard two of the remixes that he made were on your thing.
That's dope that I did that coincidentally. But the thing is, at Bingo, I'm comfortable with playing some weird shit because I'm not keeping a dance floor going.
Right.
I'm not. You know, it's different.
The more you build that confidence, dude, you're gonna crush it. Like you're already doing a really great job, especially being around us and everything. But like, I don't know how long you've been DJing.
I started doing it about 5 years ago. But the thing is,
but
you guys don't realize in Philly, the DJs here are so much better than in the rest of the country. I was playing in Memphis. And like. First off, in Dubai, it's all house, and you just let the whole song play out.
I want to touch on that, so don't dive too much in on Dubai.
I won't dive into it too much, but like you just play out it's way different. It's just vibey stuff. You're not keeping a dance floor going, at least not the spots I was at.
Got it.
And then in Memphis, a lot of DJs there are like playing the whole song and not even beat matching. They're just like they're not even doing anything. In Memphis, I felt like I was like the top 3. You know? And then I got to Philly and I was like, oh, I'm the worst DJ in this whole city. I'm the worst one here.
We're very blessed to have a lot of really great people.
Yeah, so one thing I would say is like we all came up in this game, like we had DJs to look up to before computers, right? So you had to learn how to beat match, how to mix records, how to transition records. You had to learn how to do all these things. But my first gig, I was slamming records. I was at Tiki Bob's. They didn't want mixing. They didn't want any of that. They just wanted You would play the whole song, slam into the next one, slam into the next one. That's what kind of bar it was. And then me and this other DJ, once computers took over and I was finally in there, we brought our Serato computers in, and like we were still using the deck mounted CD players, but we were actually mixing records. So like we evolved the place a little bit, which was nice. But I've done every kind of DJing, slamming, but it's just the way of the game. But
evolves.
Coming up, you had to learn the right way. Yep. So when you came up, obviously 5 years ago, it's a little different. You had to learn with a computer where you weren't really using your ear, using your eyes more, right?
Yeah.
So like,
and I had to train myself to stop looking at Serato.
Yeah. So like that's what I like about the Rev 7. Like I'm sorry that my listener were going into a nerdy DJ talk here, but the Rev 7, how it has the waveforms down.
Yeah.
So you're looking down now.
I like that too. That's why I got the S11.
Yeah. So you're looking. So the S11 is a mixer, just in case you didn't know. So it's a mixer in between two CD players or two turntables.
Yeah.
Where the Rev 7, which you have, is a controller. The waveforms are now in front of you, so there's no more Serato face looking up. You're Serato facing looking down.
Yeah. And a lot of it you can't really use. I mean, you can use it to beat match, but it's you know what I mean. It's a lot more.
It's difficult.
Yeah,
I've
it's more
tried
difficult.
It. The
to do.
S11, I feel, is a little bit.
I don't know.
Easier.
I think you should be whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So let's dive into more of like what your. So you said middle school, everything changed. So what was your middle school and high school life like? Because I met you probably 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
So I would like to know pre Nugget.
Wait, you think you've known me for 4 years?
I want to say it's been
That's
like
great.
4 years.
I've only lived here for 2.
Really?
I almost let that go though. Yeah, it does feel like I've been.
He's
here
been
for
on the
longer.
radio. You listen to a lot of radios.
Yeah, it feels like I've been here for longer for sure.
It does feel like I've known you.
When
for
I
like 4
got
years.
here, I went out every single night.
So
every
maybe that's
single
what
day.
it
You told me about that. Remember
So I've
you
known
said
Nugget
that?
for 2 years, but it felt like 4. So what does that tell you?
It means I'm either really boring or really fun.
Yeah, I think you're fun. I
Thanks.
like it. I like having you around. I can't believe it's taken this long, episode 26, to get you on. Yeah. So
He's a popular guy.
yeah, you're a hard guy to track down. So what was middle school and high school life for you that kind of helped turn you into what you are now, like funny and
All these compliments. Okay, so middle school and high school, I started doing. In high school, we moved to a slightly nicer suburb that could afford to have TVs in every classroom. So we did morning announcements, and I would do the morning announcements. I would be like an anchor.
Oh, cool.
so is that where it started?
Yeah,
Kind of,
it's got it.
yeah. And then from there, I got a scholarship to broadcast school.
Were you smart?
When it came to like creative shit, I wasn't like, I was okay. I mean, I did, I got okay grades and everything, but in video, that's why I got the scholarship to broadcast school. So
Nice.
they hooked me up with that. And I was going to this broadcast school where you did a semester of TV, a semester of radio, and then you got to pick which one you concentrated in. And I was going for TV. But then I noticed that all of the TV people seemed stressed out all the time, and all the radio people were like smoking weed and having fun, and they seemed like way
like, sign
more.
me up.
It seemed way
That we're
cooler.
here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did radio instead and got an internship almost immediately, and then from there they put me on the air Friday nights, 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. talking to drunk people all night. Was my first radio job, like on the air.
That
Where?
had to be a lot.
Where was
I was
that?
in Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
So you started in Detroit.
Yeah,
Right out of college.
right out while I was still in college.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. What was the radio station?
It was Channel 955. It's still around, and it was, dude, like it was crazy because I would be a producer for the night show, and then I'd have my own show that was Friday nights, and we would take a limo to the club every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Friday, and then on Saturdays we'd just drive out there. But it was my job to get fill the limo with like women mostly, and then like a couple of like cool guys, and we would just have a party limo for free 3 days a week, every single week. So that was my life for
Why are we not doing that now?
all my early. I'm working on it, bro. I need. Hey, if you're a limo place and you want to do trade, I'll like shout you out on the air.
Talkin needs a sponsor.
Yeah.
We're
We're working on Palm Olive right now.
Yeah, the Palm Olive limo.
Yeah. So what's funny is that you bring up limo to the club. Our buddy 5 Day, he just announced his daycare party down in Tampa. It's a day party where the bus picks you up, like a school bus picks you up, brings you to this party called daycare.
Smart.
And then takes you home.
Smart.
How inventive is that?
He's a genius.
It's a genius. And then there's like stuff that you like each week you get like a report card and stuff. He has it really well thought out. Like,
There's a lot of bars in Philly that need to have their own party buses that all night, especially on a weekend, if you're on the one side of Broad or the other, you don't really want to cross Broad, it seems like. And so all these bars if you had
Down was doing
bus,
that during SIPs. They were shuttling people in. Remember that?
Smart.
I think what happens is it's probably got to be an insurance thing. Like you're going to deal with drunk people.
Yeah,
driving,
so they were shuttling
somebody gets
people in
hurt,
from
that's
Pagano's.
ruins-
So they would
yeah.
do like a thing with Pagano's to be like, hey, after this, the after party was at Down. Because there wasn't a lot of after parties at that time.
Yeah.
Down was just like the only one, really.
The only thing I think you need to do is really add security to the bus to make sure that it doesn't get
Yeah.
crazy. That's
I
really
think
the
that
only
was-
thing.
just let
probably
it get
was what
crazy, and if a couple people die, it's good.
dude.
It's publicity for your club.
You're just
Yeah.
like content.
Yeah. Content.
Yeah, imagine how many eyes would be on your social
Oh, yeah.
media page if a couple people like not die. That's extreme,
Okay, I
but
was
like
gonna say that.
if
I
somebody
thought you were
if
going.
somebody
Did
gets
you
stabbed
die?
in not a major organ, but like the shoulder, that is
Oh,
great.
so you're going for dude? You're gonna plant
That's
somebody.
Oh
so
my
many
God.
views
Yeah.
on your Instagram.
Wow,
Yeah.
why did Tonka with Tonka stop at exit at number 26? Oh, because Nugget got me canceled. So your first radio show, Detroit, where'd it go from there?
So with the way radio works is normally you have to start in a really small city and then kind of work your way up. The way to get raises in this industry is it's not like a normal job where you can get promoted. If you want a
Right.
promotion, you kind of have to just move to a bigger city, and bigger cities have more money to pay you.
Got it.
So I started in Fort Wayne, Indiana. If you don't know where that is, don't worry, because not a lot of people do. It's this little tiny spot. It's the second biggest city in Indiana, which means nothing. So it's Indianapolis and then Fort Wayne. So I started there. I did that for a year, and then I got offered a job to be a producer and co-host of the night show in New York City. So I went from Fort Wayne to New York.
That was probably really exciting. When
It was
that
really
happened.
exciting,
Yeah.
and it made me look really good. It made me look much more talented than I was. I just happened to have a friend that went to New York and brought me out there. The
That's
guy that I
cool.
interned for in Detroit got this job in New York, and he was like, come be my producer.
That's awesome.
So all of a sudden, it looked like I was good enough to be in New York City.
Well, you were because you got hired.
No, it was a friend thing. It was definitely like a almost nepotism thing. So I did that, and then all of a sudden, I didn't have to apply for jobs anymore. People had already heard of me, and they were like
Yeah.
reaching out. So after that,
So you were like,
You do. There's no. You're not giving yourself enough credit. If you got it with all of that, I know that we're
Super
talking-
lucky.
Nah,
I'm
well,
trying to
it's
think what
probably
they call that.
combined.
Trying to think of that episode of The Office where Michael quits and he was headhunted. That's what you're getting headhunted at that point.
exactly.
Remember
So-
that episode where he quits to start Michael Scott Paper Company?
Yes.
He's like, oh, the headhunters know if I'm available.
that was my life.
Yeah.
So then I went back to Fort Wayne to do a morning show, which is really hard to get a morning show opportunity. That's why I went back there, because I was like, okay, I'm going to do this morning show as a hip hop station. The thing about Fort Wayne, Indiana, is it was all hip hop station, and Fort Wayne is like 97% white people, and I was like the most diversity that city had. Like there were bars that I could walk into where people would turn around, where I'd get looks, and that is why I could get away with doing a hip hop station in that city, is because there weren't any black people with a radio background in the city, and they weren't offering a ton of money. So it had to be kind of somebody local or somebody that I would DJ on the side to make ends meet, because I had already lived there, so I knew enough people. So it was like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So I got away with doing this all hip hop station, and it was the most fun job I've ever had in my entire life. It was insane.
Can you legally say that?
I've told. Look, Buster would understand. It was a hip hop station, and I was 22. It was the most fun job I've ever had.
Yeah,
I was
for
living
sure.
in the college dorms. I had like a deal worked out to where I could live in the college dorms for Purdue. They had like a campus in Fort Wayne, and I lived on the college dorms, and I was doing this radio show. I'd get off the air. Back then, you guys, people still listen to the radio religiously. There was no Spotify. There was no iTunes. LimeWire had just come out.
Yeah.
So I would get off the air. Everybody was listening to my show all night. They would meet me at the pool with shots ready to go, lined up. And I would go in there, and I would just like sleep with somebody, do some shots, give some people high fives. Like that was my night every night.
Damn.
And so
Eiffel Towers.
no. I appreciate you trying to get me there.
Yeah, I tried. I
No
almost had you.
Eiffel Towers. I can't do it.
Yeah.
No more.
Wait,
I don't
why?
like other penises in the room.
Wow. Okay.
All right, just next
Yeah.
subject. Go ahead.
No,
You
this
must
is
have
good.
never heard that. Did you ever hear my episode with Fishtown Creative? He was talking about pegging for like a half an hour.
Oh my god.
I didn't know what it was. He had to describe it to me.
Oh my god, I can only talk about pegging for like 10 minutes.
It's so funny.
I can get past. What is it? Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Count me out.
But it was a wild 20s, and that's why I'm so boring now, because I've done all of that.
So you kind of live like how all have a mutual friend. She just turned 21, right? So you know what I'm talking about. so our friend Quinn just turned 21. She was been out for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So I
Is she
feel
over
like
it now?
Well, I think what she was saying was kind of like I'm already over it anyway because I already been partying. So 21-year-olds just to go out legally for once. So you kind of live that party lifestyle already. So now you're like, all right, that's out of my system.
So out of my system.
Yeah. So now you're like feet to the ground. Let's grind it out. Let's do some work.
Yeah, I'm much when somebody's like, "Hey, what do you want to do on a Saturday night?" If I have my choice and I'm not trying to like,
no, this is really you. You
else.
told me this before,
dude. If somebody's like, "Hey, you want to hang out on Saturday night?" If I get to choose anything I want, it's like maybe go out to eat, but I'd rather just order in. And then watch movies and like not really move or talk.
Because you talk for a living.
Yeah.
And, you know what's funny? It's kind of like what people always give me shit for is I'm on I especially in the summer, we're DJing like sometimes 4 to 5 gigs in 3 days, right? So it's like the last thing I want to do is look at my computer when I'm not working.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
but
listen to music.
Or listen.
Yeah,
I listen.
yeah.
I had this nice stereo in my car. It came factory. I didn't put it in, but I don't listen to music when I drive.
Yeah.
And it drives people insane.
Mine is podcasts, obviously.
Yeah, so like I literally will drive to the shore and back 3 hours
Silence.
not listening to a thing. And people are like, what is wrong with you, you psycho?
No, I could do that.
I get the same thing for putting mustard on my eggs. People think I'm a psycho. Ask Rhino. If you ever
can't
see
put,
Rhino,
you can't
ask
put
him why I'm
those
a
two
psycho.
things in the same category because one, there's a reason for it. It's because you're a DJ, and the other one is just because you're a psychopath. Like that's crazy. It's crazy that you put mustard on your eggs. That's the weirdest condiment. Why?
Well, so when I first started dieting, right, everything has sugar in it, ketchup, everything.
Right.
Mustard
So mustard has
right?
0 calories, 0 sugar, and has like 50 grams of sodium.
You could just put nothing on your eggs, though.
Right? But who wants to do that?
Okay.
Who wants to do that? Like
Do you like it now?
I like it now. Yeah.
Whoa.
I
Yeah.
do hot sauce on my eggs, but I don't
Yeah, I
feel
do
like
hot
that's
sauce and
weird.
mustard. So
Yeah.
You should try
It's not a
pickles.
ew, God.
If you
no.
like mustard,
I like the
pickles is
smell
all-
of pickles, but I don't like the taste of them.
That's wild.
That's weird, right?
Yeah, that's how
That's
I feel
weird.
about vaginas.
Like a candle pickle. That's like your thing.
A what?
Like just
no,
the
I don't
smell.
have. I'd rather have a bacon
candle.
flavored
Yeah,
candy.
Tonka's whole apartment's just decked out with candle pickles.
I bet, and you know what, dude, now you found your one thing to sell a month. I guarantee you'll make a ton of money.
Yo,
Somebody will
so
buy a
that
pickle.
Tonka's pickles.
Dude. Hey,
careful
do you
with the
want-
marketing.
Do you
So-
want your apartment to smell like virgin? Just get Tonka's pickle candles.
That's what I'm talking about. But so I you posted something the other day with your shirt off, your little thirst trap, which I love for you. It's
I
great.
appreciate that you call it a thirst trap
Yeah.
because it didn't feel like that to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, before I go into what I'm about to go with, how many more dudes responded than girls?
Well, I
asked this for a serious question.
I got a big Woody's following, so a lot of dudes responded too because a lot of the people, because I DJ'd at Woody's every Friday and Saturday for probably maybe 8 months. And so, yeah, I got a lot of dudes on there. And then here's what women will do. It's really interesting to me. They won't say anything. They won't comment. They won't like do anything. But then I'll post something that's stupid. Like I'll be like, "Oh, having a coffee," and they'll respond to that and be like, "Oh my god, I love coffee." I'm like, "All right,"
because you already got their attention.
All right, I see what's happening.
So when I used to do that, I would get more dudes that are in the bodybuilding. Yo, looking good, bro. Looking good, bro.
That's what
Keep it up.
happens.
Yeah, you get a lot more dudes than anything.
That's probably still also Woody.
Yeah, it's probably still your Woody's guy. So, now, so I see you're in really good shape. So you don't do anything like that diet hack wise, like use like a certain condiment because you can't use something else. Or do you follow some kind of like certain diet plan?
No, dude. I used to be really strict. I used to weigh. I had a food scale, and
I remember you were telling me you were weighing your food and everything.
I could do that.
We went to TGI Fridays. This dude orders the smallest meal that he could find.
Yeah, it was that. Well, it's TGI
Why did
Fridays,
I
so
feel
it's
like
still
you
like
were
1,000 calories.
Who was there? It was me.
Smooth.
Oh, me, you, and Smooth. Okay. I don't know why I thought it was Kurt. Because Kurt's with me all the time now on the podcast. I just think it's Kurt.
Yeah,
I stopped. I just eat whatever I want on the weekends, and then during the week I try to keep it tight. I eat pretty much the same thing every day, so I don't have to count calories anymore.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have like a breakfast sandwich for breakfast, and then also for lunch, and then for dinner I'll have like maybe a protein shake, or maybe I'll just eat cold cuts, or maybe I'll have like grill up some chicken or salmon or something.
So
like
are you
that.
like I follow keto? Are you on anything like that?
No, I'm actually a really high carb dieter. I can lose weight on like 200 to 300 grams of carbs, and I also feel a
bless you.
lot better when I do that. Also, you've got a lot more muscle than me. I don't have muscle to lose, so I can't do keto because I would lose more muscle than I want to. So I eat a lot of carbs because I'm still trying to gain muscle.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. Whereas, like I feel like my buddy Andrew that I live with, he has a bigger frame than I do. So he'll do keto and he can still gain muscle, and I can't do that. And he'll fast before he goes to the gym and work out on an empty stomach.
I started doing that, and I feel like it made me work out worse.
Right. Me
so now
too.
I eat breakfast now, and then I'll have a coffee for lunch, and then I'll have dinner. That's like my new thing now, and it's been working really well for me.
Yeah, I remember right before summer started, when me, you, and Smooth were at that TGI Fridays, you were like, all right, this is the last bad meal I can have, and then it's the summer of Tonka.
Yeah, and then it was ruined because like I look like shit now, but that's fine.
I think you look nice. I think that my thing is, as long as your chest sticks out as far as your stomach, you're in good shape.
Yeah.
That's my
still hangs over that my chest is still bigger than my stomach, so we're good.
That's all you like. That you're good.
Yeah,
and that's my weight loss goal every summer.
Kurt back when I first met Kurt. He was working at Sweat Fitness. Remember this?
That was when I was working at the gym. Just it was like I didn't have a lot of responsibility.
Yeah,
that's all.
Was that when I first met you?
I think so. 15.
Yeah,
16,
I think that's when I moved to Manioc.
Yeah, maybe a year earlier.
So I started.
It
going
was the
to
night
Sweat.
we talk about this all the time, but it was the night of Odell Beckham's catch. So whatever night that is, that was like when we first hung out.
Yeah, it was funny. Every time it comes up,
also at JD's.
Yeah, Facebook. I bet this guy a cheesesteak. We play golf together, so I bet him a cheesesteak that I couldn't make this one hole at a certain club, and he still doesn't agree to the bet ever. But
he made a bet. I didn't agree to it, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then he was like, yeah. He was like, I won. And I was like, okay.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
The video comes up.
It was for his own reassurance. I just let him have it. I'm like, that's fine.
The Facebook video comes up all the time. It says, cheesesteak, bitch.
Dude, but you got a kid. Once you have a kid,
once you have kids,
it's like working out is over.
You have to do it at night. It's the only way to be able to do it when everyone's asleep. To be able to go to the gym, and to be honest with you, at 11 o'clock at night on a night that I'm not working,
last thing you feel like doing.
Seriously, and not to mention that, like, especially if you cook for kids, you're cooking a lot of different food because you have to cook until they're not, when they're young, like till they're not when they're done eating.
Home workouts is the only way if you even feel like doing that. There's
no way. It's just not. I am gonna say that I did sign up. They're making is it Fusion Gym, the one in Northeast that's like super big? They're making one in South Philly. So that kind of got me. I was like, you know what? Like, I'll try and get back on the wagon.
You should actually
everything.
talk to my buddy Sev. He knows the owner of that place. Maybe you can get you a free membership if you DJ there once a month. That's what he does.
He DJs there once a month?
He DJs there once a month, gets a free membership.
I'll do that. Yeah. I'll absolutely talk to Sev.
He DJs on the roof.
That's cool.
I think him and I... Okay.
Yeah, let's book us all. Let's all get booked over here at Fusion.
Actually, if you get booked at that
Who's
gym,
running the account at Fusion?
If you
oh shit, it's got to go through Smooth.
Yeah,
another one. He's got the gyms now.
He's drinking the teas.
But
and
to
everything.
be honest, I think that's there's a gym down in Texas that has a live DJ all day. So like every shift, like there's a shift.
Genius.
It's so genius. I think
I'll
it's
talk
great.
To Seth. Him and I just followed each other. Like, on
he knows
media.
the owner of. Don't quote me on
it
this.
It opens in November, so it's like pretty
so
soon.
let me know because I actually will want to check out those gyms because they look really nice.
Yeah.
Where do you go in the city?
I go to City Fitness.
Where at? Which one?
The Fishtown one.
Fishtown?
Yeah,
Never
it's
been
close
to
enough.
that
I
one.
walk there. It's about like a half an hour walk, which is nice.
You just moved to Fishtown, right?
Yeah, pretty recently. I
brewery
bought a
town.
house in Germantown, and then I'm renting that out. And then I moved to Fishtown with my
you,
buddy.
Entrepreneur over there.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to do some things.
I see that.
I've been broke my whole life, so I finally have money now. And I'm trying to like
how
keep
much
that
money
going.
is in your bank account? No, I'm just kidding.
Right now,
it's stepbrother.
Right now, not much. 2,000 because I spent so much on the house, and then every bit of money that comes in, I'll renovate or I'll spend it.
That feels,
I'll reinvest it into my bingo project, and so I'm not saving much right now, but I'm investing it into the house.
Investing is saving anyway.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
Yeah,
and I feel like Kurt can kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't. No,
empathize?
Relate with you because you just moved into a new spot.
I did,
and then he invests in DJ equipment too. So like, can you relate to him in that aspect where you just moved into a new spot, and then with the DJ equipment investing into that?
Yeah, and then I added the production table to all that, and that has been like kind of left at the wayside at the moment because we're just busy doing everything. I was in the middle of a move. I was like, let's get a new truck. I was like, why not too? Yeah, I was like, why not just knock everything all out?
Did you ever figure out what you wanted to do with that?
Yeah, I got it figured out and everything. I drove it here today, and I was just like excited to be able to have more room.
This was
for
yesterday.
Me and my family. Yeah,
you talking about getting a Ford Explorer yesterday, and you got one already?
Yeah.
Snap! Did you go the route we talked about?
Yeah.
Like on that? Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I tried talking and getting I said, let me know if you want to get a VW. What do you drive, Nugget?
I don't want to intimidate you guys, but it's a 2011 Toyota Corolla Sport Edition.
Sport.
Yeah,
you got
I don't want to overwhelm you.
You got the ground effect package on there?
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Like, it's all dented up and
I used to
stuff.
love, I used to love Corollas. I ain't going to front.
Anyway.
I refuse to get a car that I care about in Philly because it just gets banged up, and so I'm not going to get anything good.
So I never drove a foreign car until I got my Toyota. I had a Scion. I had 2 of them. Lasted over almost 200,000 miles. It's crazy. And then my buddy works at VW, and I'm like, I always loved the Tiguan. I was like, I found out my perfect one. I was like, I want this one.
Yeah.
And then one came in, and I'm broke as a joke. And I was like, how much will you give me for my Scion? They were like, I was like, I'm thinking in the back of my head, I owe $4,000. They give me anything over $4,000, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't have to put anything down. Whatever is over, I'll just put down. They offered me like $5,800. Thing had 160,000 miles. I was like, sold.
Done.
Right? So I bought it, right? And then the guy that bought the Scion off their lot 2 months later drove it for 2 weeks and blew the motor up. The motor blew up.
Wow. I can't believe you sabotaged your motor like that for the next guy. That's pretty fucked up, man.
Talk about luck. That was luck. Because like if that car would have broke, I would have been nothing. I would have had nothing to put down on this car.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like this, whatever. So you're going from Detroit. Right, you're Indiana,
New York City, back to
station.
Indiana, San Antonio, Texas.
Whoa, Texas.
Yeah,
you're playing country or what?
Dude, no, it was a top 40 station, but a lot of Spanish influence, a lot of like huge Hispanic, like 80% Mexican in San Antonio.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it was really interesting being down there and learning all about that culture.
How long were you there?
Just a year, because after about a year, I sensed that station wasn't going to
take off.
Like, as a whole, it just wasn't. It wasn't a long-term move for me. I could just tell it was going to be a very limited amount of time that I spent there.
And how long were you there?
Only a year.
Okay.
And then after a year, I got an offer from Memphis, and so I went there.
Okay.
And that
was it like
great offer.
Let me get out of here type thing?
Was it? It was more of I need to make sure. I was at a place where I couldn't afford to miss a paycheck.
Got it.
And so if I was going to get popped, I needed to preempt that. So I did, and the Memphis offer was more money anyway.
That's good.
I feel like that happens a lot with radios. Guys move around a lot.
You gotta, because that's how you get promoted. That's how you get more money. And San Antonio is bigger than Memphis, but Memphis was a privately owned station. Crazy. The guy who owned the station in Memphis is the guy who so ultrasounds had been invented, but they weren't used for looking at babies. This guy repurposed them for looking at babies. And he's a doctor, and he owned this radio station.
Before?
What?
What did they do before?
It was like more of a sonar thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
if you think of what ultrasound does, so this guy repurposed them for looking at babies.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I didn't know if it was like a big device. Like,
This is very technical terminology, by the way, looking at babies.
Yeah.
So he repurposed it for that. He makes a ton of money, and he loves radio, so he bought these stations, and I worked for him.
That's hilarious, and they call that radiologist too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
if that
from Memphis, where was it?
And then
to
Memphis to Dubai.
So this is where I want to touch on.
This is where he was trying to get to, yeah.
So I've been trying to get to this part. I was trying to find something to lead into this, right? Because I'm talking to Buster at the Phillies game. I'm doing the intro to the Phillies, right? I'm playing. I have like 40 minutes to play. Buster comes up. I'm like playing full songs. I felt so bad. Like no one's in the stadium yet. But I didn't want to leave him hanging. So I'm talking to him, talking about I was going to have you on the podcast. I was like, can you give me some like stuff on Nugget? He's like, oh, I've known Nugget all this time. And so I want to dive in with that too as well. How long have you known Buster? But he told me that you lived in Dubai and were on the radio in Dubai. I'm like, what? So do you, that is going to sound stupid. Did they speak? Were you on an English speaking station?
Yeah. So some of the stations out there are English speaking.
Okay.
It was like it's just like Q102, but just in Dubai. And is
it an iHeart station?
No, it was, there's a radio station in the UK called Radio 1, and it's kind of like a subsidiary of that, and it was called Radio 1. It was just in Dubai. And so, yeah, it was me and a bunch of Brits that worked there.
Okay.
One Australian, mostly Brits. Most of Dubai, not most, a lot of Dubai is English people because they treat it like they're Florida. They want to get out of that UK weather that sucks. They come to Dubai. The same way everybody here talks about moving to Tampa or Miami.
So how did the Dubai thing come up?
I applied as a joke. Me and my boss and my co-host for the morning show in Memphis were all like, we were looking at all the radio like forums and job boards, and we saw it come up, and my boss was like, hey, you should send your stuff to this Dubai job. And we all like had a big laugh. And so I was like, I'm going to do I didn't even send a cover letter. I just typed an email with my resume that was like, hey, this is my stuff. Hope you like it. Like, didn't care at all. 2 weeks later, they called up and they were like, we want to hire you. Do you have time for a phone interview? And so I was
You were like, yeah, whatever.
yeah, I guess.
So how long were you there?
3 years.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So a joke led to a 3-year stint.
3-year
in Dubai.
job in Dubai, yeah.
What was
He was long
Dubai
playing
life like?
It's Miami. It's Miami with different accents.
With no water.
With no water. It's very dry. It's a desert. Nobody has dryers out there except for rich people, I feel like. Because your clothes, you just put them outside for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They dry. You don't need a dryer out there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a different world. Their air conditioning, people will argue with me on this out there. Like, I got into some arguments because I'm like, there's some people had way different experiences than me. But in all the places I lived, and I live in a lot of different places in Dubai, none of the places had like an automatic setting for your air conditioning. It was like it's either on or off. And you could set...
Isn't that like how every air conditioner worked in the 90s
dude, you can
or whatever?
set auto. You can set it to like 68 degrees and
but
it'll pump it out.
That's like kind of the new technology. Like
the new technology is for you to not be able to set the temperature you want?
No, what I'm saying is like, do you remember having an air conditioner in like the 90s? You just turn it on or off, and that was it.
Right, but this was 2020.
Okay.
Come on, Kurt.
All right, go ahead.
So like they should have it by
You're
now.
just saying, get your shit. You're Dubai. Get your shit updated.
It's like, you guys have the biggest building in the world. You can't figure out air conditioners? So it was frustrating. There was an on and off. So there's all these like weird backward things about Dubai. Like they have the biggest building, the tallest building in the world.
Right.
They have the biggest Ferris wheel in the world. But this is the perfect analog to everything Dubai. They have the biggest Ferris wheel in the world, but they forgot to install some part that makes it safe. So you can't actually sit on it. It's just like a set piece. It's essentially it's just like art at this point because it's a giant Ferris wheel that doesn't work.
Stop it.
And that's everything in Dubai. It's like very extravagant, but underneath the roots, like a lot of shit doesn't make sense.
What?
Okay. So there's no good foundation on most things that are built in Dubai.
Yeah, like to get my driver's license, I had to get a blood test, guys. Like there's a lot of stuff. There's
A blood test.
There's a lot of shit.
Who's doing the blood test? Someone's grandmom?
Is it to know your blood
You
type?
go in there, it's actually terrifying. So I was lucky enough to have my job out there set me up with someone who spoke Arabic fluently that went with me to their DMV essentially and got me set up with all the documents that I needed. If I wouldn't have had that, I don't know how I would have lived. I don't know.
Did you
how
learn
I
any
would've done.
Arabic when you were out there?
My dad's Middle Eastern, Jordanian, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Not South America.
I feel like an asshole.
South Africa. And
Are you sure? It's not South Africa.
And I know a little bit from that side of my family.
Okay.
But not enough to make it out there. Not enough. Yeah, it was.
Dubai sounds like when you go to Jamaica and they're like, "Don't leave your hotel." Like,
yeah,
it's just like
well,
that's exactly.
when I go to Cancun or any like resort, I rarely leave the facilities. Like, because I'm afraid. Like,
I don't know if I want to visit anywhere.
It's
that's
actually
like,
very safe because they have cameras set up in every corner of the whole city.
In Dubai?
Yeah, so they have CCTV set up all over the place. So you could get in a bar fight and then have the cops show up to your house that night because they track you down and they go, "Hey, you're going to jail. You got in a fight." It's not.
I don't know if I
allowed
like
here.
that.
Wow.
You also PDA isn't really allowed. So there are some parts that are a little bit more progressive than others. But like, let's say you go to Abu Dhabi and you want to like kiss your girlfriend at the mall. There are some malls where if somebody complains, you might get fined, or if you're obnoxious about it and being a dick to the cops, if they're like, "Hey, you can't do that here," and you like go off about it, they might put you in jail because they're like, "We do what we want here." In Dubai, however, like I got really drunk one night and I made out with somebody at a club very publicly, and the security goes, "Hey, you can't do that here. Like, you got to chill out." Then I made out with her again, and then that's when you get kicked out. And if I would have like, it was a very progressive part of Dubai. It's a club too. Like they kind of expect tourists, and so it's a lot more. You get more leeway.
I get what you're saying.
But it's just very interesting partying out there. You party every night, by the way. It is Miami. It is, if you want to stay in on a Saturday night, you're doing it by yourself because all your friends are going out. Like it's just not, people are not staying in. But the way they have it is, it's like, remember how weed laws were in 2008? Yeah. Where if you had a little bit on you and a cop pulled you over, like chances are you were going to be okay if you were respectful. But if you have like a pound, like a garbage bag of it, then you're going to jail.
Yeah, you're going to jail.
So as long as you're not obnoxious about their laws, you're probably okay. For example, in Dubai, they don't let you have a liquor license if you're a restaurant and you're not in a hotel. That way they can feel good about like, oh, it's just the tourists that are drinking. But so all the restaurants caught on and they're like, great, we're just going to put all of our restaurants in hotels. So now when you bar hop, you do it vertically. If there's a different bar on every floor of the hotel.
That's pretty dope.
I don't know. I think I'd start from the top and come down.
So it's kind of like beat the clock every hour. You just keep going up.
And there's a different floor. And there's a place called Pier 9, something like that, where there's just, or Pier 7, where there's 7 different bars, 7 different floors. And each floor
are they all different names, or they're just like level
all different
one,
names, all different bars, like different drink
that would be
specials.
super crazy.
That's dope.
Wild.
It's different DJ too.
Different DJs, different everything.
That's great.
There's probably a lot of work to be had out there.
A lot of work, but you don't get to play like we play out here. You have most bars are like chill. Most bars are like tech house. I would imagine it's a lot of tech house right now because that's especially trendy in Europe. So it's like Kurt's Pour events everywhere. But and they're playing out the full song. They're playing Nora.
You do pretty well.
So let's go to Dubai.
Let's go to Dubai.
You want to get booked? You can play Nora on Pure 9 all night. You could play a Nora on Pure set and nobody would know the difference.
Well, that's probably why I wouldn't be as exciting, because like I feel like it's working right now because we're trying very hard to make it unique.
But they do stuff like they bring in somebody to play saxophone. You might play. I played with an orchestra once. That was really dope. So there's different ways to like enhance the experience.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what was the transition like from you? Like what happened? Why'd you leave Dubai?
I just got tired of. I was tired of partying. I was doing a morning show, so I was waking up at 4:30 in the morning.
Wow. So you're just leaving the club and going right to work.
If I went out, like a lot of times I was just like hang out by myself, dude.
Chill.
Yeah, I got burned out, and there's just always something going on, and I hate it when there's always something going on. Like the thing, I sound like such a Scrooge, but like the thing that annoys me about Philly is all summer, if I want to hang out with my friends, I have to drive 2 hours just to hang out with people because nobody's in Philly. And then once Eagles starts, if I want to hang out with my friends, I have to go to an Eagles game on Sunday. Like that's what we're doing.
You know, there's non-Eagles fans in Philly, right?
Huh?
I'm not an Eagles fan. I'll go to Eagles games.
Really?
Yeah.
Stop.
I'm not.
I don't believe you at all.
I'm not.
But you still go to the stuff.
Well, I'm getting paid to now.
Right, but what else are you going to do on a Sunday?
I go to a bar and watch football normally.
Okay, but that's okay. So an Eagles game then?
No, I go to ones that are showing Raiders games probably.
Oh, you're okay. So it's not like you're not a football fan.
No, I'm a huge football fan.
Do you want to watch the Eagles or not? Is what he's saying.
Yeah, but I was saying is like
my problem is not football. My problem is not the Eagles. I like the Eagles. They're my team. Nobody likes the Lions. I'm from Detroit. Like they're not my team. So now it's the Eagles. But,
see, I would like the Lions on purpose because they're such an underdog, and you're like,
yeah, but they're an underdog forever. The point of like being excited about an underdog is eventually they come up, but the Lions are not going to do that. So they're just going to be
Just,
down
let
forever.
you down.
Yeah,
they're the Lions. Lions.
you see that? You see that viral photo going around with the dude that he got a championship trophy and it said that has a Detroit Lions logo. It said Lions Super Bowl champs 2024.
That'll never happen.
Well, maybe he's trying to manifest it into existence.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
They've been trying to manifest it for years. It's never even gotten close.
Tim Allen's still a fan, so that's nice.
Good for him.
That's good. He's the only one. You know, I grew up in Detroit. I've never seen anybody have Lions merch. Nobody has it. No one is a Lions fan. I don't know any.
How do they still have a team?
They just because there's people got to do something when they're drinking.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you ever met Tim Allen?
No.
No.
Let me think. I met Kid Rock,
That
Eminem's
must have been
brother.
cool.
I mean Eminem. I met Eminem and I met Kim. I danced with Kim by accident. I didn't know who it was.
Jeez, you almost got a song.
I know. I looked over and then one of my coworkers was like, "What are you doing?" What? And I was like, what? It's
Can
just
you
some
tell
girl.
us
I'm just
more
dancing
about
with her
her?
and party.
Like, is she normal? Is it like actually like the way
I was drunk. She was drunk.
Yeah. But did you know her or is it just
No,
like
I had no
random-
idea who it was.
Oh,
and then I had
okay.
to be told that it was Kim Mathers, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go run.
Dude,
I'm gonna go run because
that
I know
must
Nathan
be
and he'll tell
the
Marshall.
crazy. Like, imagine just the bar setting, and then I don't know what the equivalent of Kim Mathers would be, but like she just walks in, you're like, whoop, never mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like
My
you just almost
insult
wanna
for a
leave.
really long time. Have you ever seen the movie 8 Mile?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Okay, my insult for a really long time. Whenever somebody's being trashy, I would call them. I'd be like, "You're acting like Eminem's mom right now." From the movie 8 Mile, Kim Basinger. She was so trash in that movie.
Dude, she actually plays a really good trashy woman.
Yeah, she was
Like,
great.
They probably just
Whenever
hired
somebody's
someone.
smoking
Yeah.
cigarettes, I'm like, oh, Eminem's mom over here with the chief and her Peeties.
Smoking her spirits.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, big surprise, Newports. You don't. Hey, breaking news, everybody! Girl in Jersey smokes Newports. Look at that.
So So where did you come from Dubai? Like when you left Dubai, did you come right to Philly?
I had to, so I landed in New York. That's why I have a New York number, and I had to get a phone right away. Like first, I couldn't do anything until I got a new phone, and then came right to Philly and started working. I had 2 weeks off. I was staying in an Airbnb in Fishtown, and just started working here. And I met Nico Oso. Big shout out to him. And
The Prince of Philly.
Yeah, the Prince of Philly. Shout out to, and he introduced me to Soho, who's the man. And between the two of them, I met a lot. I was going out every night with him, just following him around. And he introduced me to everybody. He was so good to me. And from him, I met everybody. I met Kurt like my first week here at Vesper.
Yep.
And I met Nine. A lot of these DJs that worked for the station, so that was kind of cool. It put me in a unique position because I'm kind of their boss in the sense that I put out their schedule and like review their mixes and stuff like that and tell them what the rotations of the songs are. So I got to have this really cool relationship with some of the biggest DJs in the city.
I think that's how I met you through Nine, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
And that was the worst for me because that's when I was like, oh no. Because the first
I met the
DJs I
bottom of the
saw were
barrel.
Nico, Nine, Scooter, and man, somebody else's, and Bonix I saw like play. And so that was my first Philly experience, was seeing those guys play. And that's when I was like, oh, I guess I have to give up on DJing. I guess I'm not gonna be able to do
And
this.
then he
here.
meets me. He's like, "Oh, I'll be fine."
I didn't meet you until a while after I met everybody else.
Yeah, I don't think you've heard me play though.
Ooh, have I not heard you play?
I don't think so.
Ooh, all right. Can you play right now?
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is
We
that
can
you
actually
bring
set
that
up decks and put it
funny
into the
that you bring that
podcast.
up because Buster offered me to come on the 76 mix.
Ooh,
Yeah.
You got to submit it like a
I gotta
sample mix,
I gotta
right?
submit a sample. Yeah, so I need to
That's,
get that
I mean,
list
that's where
off
the
of you.
pressure comes in, though, dude. Don't fuck up the sample mix.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, we could set up decks right now and plug it into the podcast and have you play. Except then it'd get taken down off of everything. I think.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but that would be really cool to just bust out a
Do
mix
you ever have
in
a
the middle.
DJ come in and play live during
Yeah.
the 76 mix?
Yeah. Who's done it? Hollywood's done it a bunch of times. Nico's done it. They'll do this thing where I'll go on live and they'll play and I will live. I'll get my Serato up and I'll look up songs that are in the same BPM and I'll throw out songs and make them mix it. And I'll be like, all right, what are you playing right now? They'll be playing, Justin Bieber Baby, and I'm like Fergalicious, and then I go Lose Control, and I just keep throwing stuff at them, and they do it live, and it's really cool.
That
to watch.
sounds like that would be fun to listen to.
It's fun and it's intense, and like the listener gets to hear
should do
me
it.
call out the song.
What you should do is you should make it two DJs and then make them go against each other.
Yeah,
That
and
would be
keep
really
going back
cool.
and forth. Yep. That
So
is
if
the
my
move.
mix gets approved, my debut, I want to do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll come up here.
That's fine.
That's really funny.
I'll jump in if you don't mind.
Yeah. That was a good segue into getting that list from you, the ABC list from you, so I can submit that next.
Dude, exactly. Yeah,
So-
I can definitely give you that.
So I guess was Philly like a kind of like a shock to you then to see what it was like?
Yeah, man, it was terrifying. I hated that. When I moved here, I was like, I can't DJ. Like, I can't even it was just a very intimidating city. Like, when you've never lived in I lived in New York, but that was different. I was a kid. When you're like on a professional level, living in a city like this, when there's so much going on, there's so much competition. Like, you guys feel it every fall when all the clubs and all the bookings kind of shuffle and you have to work for your spots all over again.
I love it, man.
Do you?
Yeah,
because
I
it
think
seems
it's-
like it would be really stressful.
I think it is, but you
very
kind of
stressful,
understand how to live within it. You know what I mean? I feel like it's very iron sharpens iron. Like, meaning that, like, if I hear someone really dope, I'm like, I have to improve. I have to, like, it's very motivating. I think it's just the way that you take it in, because I can understand how, especially if you're just jumping right into it, you're like, whoa, I wasn't mentally prepared for this.
Right.
But that's why I tell you, like, you're doing a great job. Just let that confidence kind of gain up, and you will get there. I think you're already
I just need to
well
practice
underway.
too. That's why I started booking myself again at Woody's a little bit.
That's good.
So I could practice, because I haven't
Yeah.
done any real gigs in a while, and I'm definitely
And
getting
what
stale.
is good thing about Woody's that I've heard, I've never played. I played at Rosewood before, which is right next door. I don't think it's open anymore, but
Yeah.
what I find about that section of the city is they're not going to nitpick you for what you're playing.
And it's
They're
so
very
diverse.
Right, they're very open. So you can play a freestyle set, you can play a 90s set, you can play a 2000 set.
Yeah, dude, I can mix
set.
Too Good with Stevie B all
no,
night.
You can't.
I'm making it work before the end of this year.
If you adjust the pitches of certain songs, I can show you how to make it work.
Okay, please.
I can definitely show you how to make it work.
I'm paying someone $20 to go up and tell them how awesome that mix was right in front of you.
Yes.
I literally came up to you. I'll never forget. I was like, no, everything was good until you tried
Well,
that.
I prefaced it. I told him, I was like, I'm going to try this. I don't think it works. And then he was
Whatever.
like, no, you're right. It doesn't.
So some songs just don't go together.
No.
And what's funny, I get made fun of because I still do these, like certain ones that certain songs just sound really good with certain songs.
Yeah.
So I do a transition where it goes from Tambourine to Staying Alive by the Bee Gees to Yeah by Usher.
Ooh, that's good.
It's
I like
literally perfect. It's a perfect for weddings. It's perfect for every venue.
That's a
every
good
venue. Your opening sets, it's perfect.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Especially if you play it a little later in the night when everybody's drunk.
Right.
The Staying Alive, they're screaming that shit.
Right.
Right. And that's what I'm kind of known for, is like sprinkling that like song that everybody's gonna scream at like 12:30, 1 o'clock.
How
in the
many
morning.
times do you guys sprinkle in the Drake and Josh theme song? Do you do it
I don't
like
think
2
I've
times,
ever-
or do you do
Never
push it
done
and go
that one.
3?
Yeah, I don't think
you
I've
guys
ever
not do
played
that.
it. No,
Okay.
I made probably a really grave mistake. I played a High School Musical song that I didn't actually know it was a High School Musical song.
Yeah.
Because it was remade as a tech house joint.
Sick.
But it was also made under a different vocal.
That sounds awesome to me.
So I was just like, oh, this is pretty dope. And it was like the main, and they were like singing it. I'm like,
Yeah.
how the fuck does everyone know this song?
You're
And it was named like something that wasn't High School Music. You know how like somebody remakes like a song and
Yeah.
it's just like called something different?
Right.
That's the way that it was made. And I can't even remember what it was, but I remember hearing everyone singing it and everyone being like, I love the High School Musical song.
You're
I'm
like,
I
how does
don't
everybody
even
know this Afrojack song?
I didn't know what it was. So anyway, yeah, like I accidentally played one before, but it was I don't know.
So-
Dude, I've been doing Drake and Josh into My Boo, and it goes hard.
Really?
Hard.
Well, it's around that time,
I've
like-
never gotten a better reaction from anything I've ever done.
Really?
Yes. I'm not
Good.
fucking with you guys. I'm not trying to like
That-
set you up to fail.
No, so that's good though, because my next question is, do you remember your first gig in Philly?
Wow. What was it was something that Nico booked me for, and oh my God, I failed so horribly because it was like heavy hip hop, and I had been in Dubai
Was it
for
Lie
3
Lounge?
years. No, it was
They just closed.
it was
Yeah.
like tango. It was like tango on a Monday or something, and I was just opening. No, hold on. I think I was opening for Nico at Down. And it was
This
before
feels like a
Down
palm
was
reading, and he's like trying to
it
conjure.
was, it was when Down was doing almost all hip hop, and so I was not prepared. And I was playing all this corny stuff, and that's not what they were going for at all. And so it was, but it was an opening set, and there was the people that were there were enjoying it because it was all Howl at the Moon people. So I feel like it was fine, but that wasn't the vibe there. So all the staff was looking at me like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" This is at the time it was like pure hip hop. And then after that, it was like a lot of Johnny Walker lounges on a Sunday when it was industry. And I'm like, oh, and that's when, to my detriment, this is my biggest weakness, but I don't care. I'm leaning into it. I discovered Jersey Club, and it's my absolute favorite
love it,
genre
dude.
of
Yeah,
all
fuck
time.
yeah.
It's just poorly produced.
I
I
cannot-
really wish it was better produced.
I cannot help
I
myself.
think people are getting much better at it.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I think a lot of more people, it's going to get more popular because techno is really popular right now, and their BPM range is somewhat similar. So I feel like when people are mixing it, hearing it, whatever it might
Yeah.
be, it might go to that.
I play
really
a Boys a
love it.
Liar version. That's Jersey Club, but it's actually really well done. I think I found it on Club Killers.
and
I
the
think.
original Boys a Liar isn't too far away from
No,
Jersey
it's
Club
just basically
subs.
adding a
Yeah.
stronger 808 and like a Baltimore. So that's what basically Baltimore Club is. It's a stronger bass hits, and
But
stuff
it's a
like that.
problem. It's because no matter what the gig is, I'll be like, I know this won't work, but I can't help but try
Yeah,
it at least.
yeah.
And
Play
if it
it,
works,
dude.
then I'm cool. But like,
I play it everywhere. I don't care where you're going to hear
Have you
something.
had a Philly oh shit moment that you're playing besides
Yeah,
when
like
you
every
tried
night.
doing the Stevie B thing?
Yeah, the fucking
Yeah,
High
like-
School Musicals.
Yeah, all
So
the
that
time.
was your oh shit moment?
No, I mean that. Well,
Because like everybody has that moment when they're like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have played that."
no. For me, it's like entire nights of just bombing. Of just like it was mostly. Nico was booking me at Johnny Walker Lounge, and I would have to. Luckily, I would have somebody else there to like take over if I couldn't. I could keep that room going for like. Man, when I first started, like half an hour, and then I eventually built up to about 2 hours of feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
And then I remember I felt really good because Nico came out. So he would do it, but he was doing Vesper, and then he would show up at Johnny Walker Lounge after. And so I would open for him, and one night he let me do most of the night and like played like half an hour because he had to. And that was when I felt like, oh, okay, he let me, like if he's letting me play, it means I'm not fucking it up. So that was cool. And then I did tango one night for industry night, and everybody had a good time, and I was like, oh, good.
Yeah.
So you finally felt at peace, like you were good.
So many times, dude. I was at Lie Lounge before it closed down, and I knew that I was gonna fuck it up because
I bombed in that room too.
My hip hop crate just got deleted. Like all my crates got deleted. My laptop like dropped when I had my thing. Something weird happened where my crates just weren't there.
That's just a weird room in general.
So I didn't have my hip hop crate.
You're gonna beat me up. I loved playing there.
Yeah.
I had one table of 4 people.
It has been fun.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
It has been. I had 40 people come out one night, and then I could play whatever I want because all my people were in there, and I could just play what I
hear
wanted.
What you're saying. Yeah.
But this one night I was there, and I had Houdini come, and I was like, hey man, I'm just gonna open for you. I ended up playing like maybe like 4 songs, and then I was like, all right, cool, you good to take over? I was just doing such a terrible job, and my hip hop crate was gone, so I was playing all this corny shit. Dude, I remember I was playing Dance Ass because I was like, dude, I'm sorry, I know that this is not a good song for I'm sorry that I have to burn you on this, but I played Dance Ass, and then I looped the Wakiki into Teach Me How to Dougie, and he looked at me and he's like, probably don't play that here. And I was like, okay. I was like, why don't you take over, man? And he's like, okay, I got you. And so I gave him my whole check because I was like, I'm never gonna be able to. I would have never made it through the night, so I just didn't.
Yeah, so that's a weird room, man. I played a lot of like older hip hop there, which I got through the night. I only had 7 people when I was in there.
I think the move, if I had to do that room over, I would probably go mostly R&B for the whole beginning of the night.
Yeah, you probably can.
Because that's how I started it. I started that, and then I went into like a reggaeton set, and then I had like all hip hop because there was a lot of Spanish women there when I was there.
Yeah.
And then, that's kind of like my bag.
But I've had a lot of oh shit moments. Oh my God. They gave me a chance to do upstairs at Woody's. So normally I do Glow Bar, which is like the top 40 room. They gave me a chance to do upstairs at Woody's. I was not prepared. I didn't have the library for it. Like
that's
I wasn't
the main
ready.
room, right?
The main room. They were like, here, we're going to give you a shot on a Thursday. I went up there and I had no confidence. I was switching the songs way too fast. They should have definitely played out way longer. And I was just like, there's so many different styles of house music, and I didn't pick a lane and stay in it long enough. So I was being really schizophrenic with like what the.
That's something that comes with time, though.
Oh my God.
There's rooms we all play that we just need to learn how to program that room, right? So like, there's a lot of rooms that me and him both play. We know how that flow of that room works. So like,
changed over time too. That's not like something that stayed. I feel like it's it percents back out.
Yeah,
where it's like mainly 2 genres.
Right. So like, if you're not if especially when you get like a little excited, like it's like, oh shit, I want to fly through records, but you're only hurting yourself. Like, because that happens, especially like with these 5-hour gigs that we have to do now, which I hate more than anything.
Yeah, if you're a bar and you're listening, 5 hours is dumb. 5 hours is stew. Stop making us play
2,
from
please.
9 for like the 7 people that are there.
Just so you guys know, from 9 to 10:30, I'm playing a mix, so I'm not even DJing. I'm standing there, but I'm not DJing at all.
And also, the new rate is a minimum 100 an hour.
Yeah.
There you go. We just said it.
Wow, I love that.
Dickheads.
So, okay. Now, this is something else I want to talk about because we're actually over an hour. It doesn't even feel like we've been here an hour. But Nuggets Bingo, where did this idea come from? Because in the beginning, I was like, oh, I don't know if it's going to work. That's what I said to myself.
Yeah.
And now you're blowing up.
I stole it. I stole it. So it's it's a UK idea. I Americanized it. It's nothing like the concept that they do out there.
Okay.
Just for the record, if anybody's trying to sue me. So they do a thing in the UK and it's similar, but what they do is, and eventually I want to build to something like this, but obviously make it way more American. They do like a house EDM bingo. It gets crazy. Eventually, I want to have a big venue where I can do like an EDM bingo to where by the end, everybody's just going nuts. But for now, we're doing it at local bars. It's way more of a drinking game bingo. So I DJ for about half an hour. Then we play the first round of bingo. For the first round of bingo, you have to take a drink before you can fill out any number that I call. So people are drinking a lot that first round. That round ends. And then what I do is I go, all right, now if you haven't been drinking every round, it's time. Everybody's got to finish their drink before we start the second round. So everybody's got to like pound their drink or else we're not starting the second round. And that helps the bars out.
And he goes around and looks too. He was doing it at Cuddy's. There was a bunch of us there. There's like 20 people.
And people peer pressure each other. Like especially once the college kids come back, like they make each other drink. It's really good. And then Tonka and those, they make each other drink. Like, I don't need to encourage them at all. So it promotes drinking a lot, which is good for the bar. And then we go into, and I'm DJing in between. I'll do like a 10 to 15 minute break in between each round where I'm DJing. So the idea is by the end, I don't want anybody to care about bingo at all. I want them to all just be partying. And I just want to
just trying to trick everybody in there, basically. Yeah,
it's just
cool.
a big trick.
That's whatever.
Round 2 starts. It's pretty normal. So at the end of round 1, what I do is I pick a winner. You got to bring your drink up to the DJ booth. I make everybody in the bar count down. And you get like 10 seconds to finish your drink. If you can't finish it, we keep playing. If you finish it, you're the winner of round 1.
Cool.
The prize for round 1 is a free drink on my bar tab. So round 2 happens, and the prize for round 2 is a round of shots on me. And then at the end of round 2, going into round 3, I'll do this thing where I have a free drink and then a shot of well gin. You come up, I ask you a question. If you answer the question, you get the free drink. If you refuse to answer the question, you have to take the shot. And it's a question like, I think when you were there...
You asked a guy what his girlfriend's like bad habits were or something like that.
Yeah, this guy was with his girlfriend, and I was like, what's the most annoying thing she does?
He did the shot of gin.
So he did the shot of gin. Did he answer?
He answered. She cuts her fingernails in bed.
It was great. She cuts her fingernails in the bed and puts them like in her hand.
Okay, that's
disgusting.
Mine would be the shower thing.
But sometimes if it's like Monday at Top Tomato, we had this woman that was there with all of her girlfriends. It was her birthday. So she's there at a table with 5 other women. And I go, rate all your friends from ugliest to prettiest or do the shot. She did the shot so fast. She did not want to answer that.
Oh my God.
Ruined all their relationships. Could you imagine? So she did. So I'll do shit like that. And then we go into round 3. Round 3, if there's enough people there, I'll give everybody thunder sticks like NBA games. And I'll do table that makes the most noise, round of shots on me. And so that kind of gets everybody.
We did that at Brewery Town when Jimmy was there.
That's right. Yeah. So I'll do that if it feels right. You know, I don't waste that on just any crowd.
Have you thought about bringing in like I don't want to say like a really great DJ to say it like that, but maybe encourage. Well, I'm saying, what I was saying is, he does a really great job with all of the party atmosphere of everything. If you're trying to turn it into a party, maybe having someone that's like, hey, I'd play this or I do that. You know what I mean? Like,
he's been incorporating Jimmy a lot.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
100%. What I will need at some point, I'll either need to practice and get better or need somebody who really knows how to make it turn into a party and have them come on right after.
I think that's what I'm saying is like, so there's no empty.
You could do it musically. How you're playing in between, how I said you have to build the night.
Right.
So if you build the night via the Nuggets bingo, right, you're starting out with maybe a little bit older dancey stuff and getting more current as it goes, a little bit more harder, a little bit more party.
That's 100% what I've been doing. Like, have you noticed that?
No.
So I start with Tech House between round 1 and round 2, and then in between round 2 and 3 is like a little bit more hype stuff, like the Rivas edits and shit like that. Rivas?
Yeah.
Rivas.
Whatever his name is.
His edits are great. They're especially for opening sets.
So I'll do that in between round 2 and round 3, and then depending on the vibe, I'll either keep that going or I'll go into like originals that everybody knows. It just depends on where we are. I still haven't figured that last after bingo's over set.
You got to go to listen to some people's like main sets, like their 2-hour sets.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
The last 2 hours.
That's what I need to do, and so that'll be kind of a game changer. And then once I have the budget, I will hire DJs to play after.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a big party where a bunch of people are there. Once the colleges are back, which I think they are now, and then after round 3, it's just a party. We just DJ for the rest of the night.
I hope you took that as a positive compliment.
I don't care, dude. I'm the least serious deal. Like, I just have so much work to do, and especially every time I come out and hear one of you guys play, I'm like,
well, don't say one of you guys. You've never heard me play, Nugget.
I'm just assuming that you're good because you get paid.
Okay.
By a lot of
people. All right. So here's a question I like to ask people, especially in the professional field. Where do you see Sam in 5 years?
I want to do this bingo thing. I want to take it to a bunch of other cities. I'm working on bringing it to Tampa, and then once the way it works is you kind of scan there's a QR code in the middle of the bingo sheet that takes you to my website where you can subscribe to where every Monday I send out all the locations and dates for all the bingos that week. Eventually, I want to do big parties at nightclubs where we're doing bingo, and then it is somebody else DJing, and I do like a big party. And eventually, once I have the budget and the people that show up, I might have artists come like a James Hype to go and finish out the night, which would be crazy.
Yeah.
I want to do that once a month in a bunch of different cities. So that's my 5-year. That's my 2-year plan, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
So in 5 years, hopefully just doing that.
Just doing that. Are you still doing this radio?
Yeah, still doing this because this is so. I've just been doing this for so long. It's very easy for me to come, and it also goes hand in hand with what I'm doing. Like I let the radio station, if they want to sell a sponsor for my bingo and get paid off of it, cool. As long as I get a cut.
Yeah.
You know?
Gotta pay daddy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the deal. I think that's where I see my life going, just doing events. And I think that everybody's kind of noticed. Have you noticed yourself that events are kind of where it's at right now? You get to set
to be honest, like,
prices. It's making more money.
As I get older, I got to find my lane now because a lot of these younger guys coming in and bookings, like you said, especially in the fall, they're harder and harder to get, right? So it's like I'm starting to do my pop punk thing where it's kind of working now. Like I did one down the shore, they loved it. I did it well. And then I do one at Stateside once a month. And so I'm trying to get like one more or two venues on. So I'm doing it once or twice a month in different venues, right? That makes sense.
And spread out far enough to where you could do it, you know. That's great.
So I'm in talks with 5 Day of doing one down in Tampa.
Gotta.
So like I'm going down there. It's just a DJ. It's a DJ. And then eventually, hopefully bring that emo night down there. I don't call it emo night. I call it pop punk night.
That's good. Are you going to start? Does it have its own Instagram page?
No, it doesn't.
Do it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the move for you. I'm going to give this out for free. I've been doing this and it's been getting me a lot more followers. At about, depending on the venue, once you're about to turn up, once you're done playing your opening set, toward the end of that, or maybe like 15 minutes before you start really ramping up. So like at JJ's, maybe at like 10:30, 10:45, I'll get on the mic and I'll go, hey, we're doing a song request contest. I'm going to buy a drink. My QR code is on my laptop. Scan it, DM me your song request. The best one is going to get played, and I'm going to buy you a drink. And it costs you nothing, and you get all these followers.
I already have the barcode. So the barcode, you scan it, it comes up with all my info. Perfect. Maybe I'll put an Instagram link to that Instagram and say the first 10 people that follow me on this thing get a free shot or something like that.
That's the move. And then that way you're building then you don't have to work as hard to get people to each one of these.
Right. I just feel like it'll be taken away from my brand though, because I branded it, right? It has Pop Punk's Not Dead. That's what the party's called. And then it says Tonka on it. So like people know that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like the Instagram page was necessary. I was just going to use my page.
Yes, but if you're going to do that event specifically, there's going to be a lot of people that'll follow for a second and then unfollow once the people, you want people to be centralized into this is what I want from Tonka, like this is the event I want, and you want to be able to keep track of who those people are.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So like for example, Smooth has the Smooth Event Group Instagram, the Smooth Tea Instagram. Like he's got all these people that are interested in different things, and if you notice, if you go look at the people that are following some of these, they're not necessarily all overlapping. There's some people who aren't going to give a shit about any of his other gigs that do care about the Smooth Tea gigs, or especially if you're going to do a certain type of music. Like the people that want pop punk might not want to hear you doing anything else. They might not want house music or anything like that.
Right.
But that being said, you could definitely just do it with your Instagram.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that big of a
maybe you're onto something there, buddy.
But maybe it's just something to think about.
I have merch coming out for it.
Dude, if you got merch, you need your own Instagram. I don't know what to tell you.
I designed the logo. The logo's done. And now it's just getting the money together for the merch, to be honest with you, because that's like where
it's expensive.
I
did it for poor. It was expensive.
My Tonka merch sold out, which was great. That I got my money back plus some, which was awesome.
But that's a great lane for you to be in.
Yeah,
it's successful and people are into it, and it's just about people knowing that it's going on.
Yeah.
And then you're packing it.
So with your radio, and I guess like through radio, did they give you classes on like social media, branding, marketing? Is that something you learned just over time, just going
in Dubai, I was friends with a ton of influencers, and that radio station had money, so they paid people from TikTok to come in and teach us like about the algorithms of TikTok, and they also gave us some knowledge about Instagram and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. So with TikTok, and I think this is still true today, if you just post every day, even if it sucks, you will get to 10,000 followers. If you post every day, if you're just like, hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. You will get there. It won't, as long as you don't miss any days. So just do it for like 30 days. I
was doing that for a while when Instagram was paying me to do reels.
Yep.
I was posting once a day. I was getting on everybody's nerves, but it worked.
It works.
I got paid. Yeah, I mean, it was working, but I was supposed to be doing them on TikTok, but because I had the Instagram little little watermark on there,
monetization, yeah.
they demonetize it and throw it to the bottom.
Oh, save your video before you post it.
Yeah, I was an idiot. I was doing
I think we all did that though. I think we all like had the watermark going for a long time.
Yeah.
Whether it was on Instagram
it's just easier.
or TikTok.
It's easier to do it in one thing and then just push it out. Are you following that kind of stuff, like your algorithms and stuff like that before you post stuff, Kurt?
I mean, I would like to know what's going on, but I don't want to overthink what it is that I'm posting either. I think a lot of what stopped me or stops me is from once it becomes too complicated. It has to be simple enough for me to be able to get through it.
Yeah.
And obviously you do need to know like what's going on, but it's the same thing with the channels. It's the same thing with the reels. It's the same, like I would like to post to some frequency, but if you're forcing me to do something that feels, I wouldn't say uncool, but like where everyone's going to be like, dude, you're posting every single day.
Yeah.
Save it up. I feel like I think I'm out on that. I would rather invest into doing something a little bit.
Because you were doing those gig vlogs for a while.
Well, actually, that's iOS 17 fault. So it doesn't, anytime I try to re-edit the things, even though I should probably do it through CapCut or something of that nature, because I was just able to quickly do them, was the reason that I was putting everything together. But there's only also so many places that we play that I'm not going to be like, all right, 15th time I'm at. Yeah. So it was just something to go to start. Like 1 or 2 of them did really well, but I didn't want to be that guy. I just thought it would be something
really
cool.
shocked because you were doing reels for such a long time that I posted one when I was at the Phillies game and I had like 64,000 views, right? Instagram hit me up. Hey, we want to put you into this bonus reels play.
Yep.
Get you paid basically for per view. So that's why I was doing them. So like what is astonishing to me is he never got that. And he has reels.
You have to have a certain amount of followers and you have to have a certain amount of views and consistency in posting your reels. So like
that's when he was doing that. That's
but
it
wasn't. No, yours wasn't consistent enough. You weren't posting that much, and your followers are under 10,000, right?
I'm not on 10,000, and
How many have you got?
45 at that time. I was just at $4,000.
It must be then because your reel did so well, and it must have been like
what was your? Do you know your stats
for that? That one.
I'm just saying off the top of your head. You don't have to give me exact.
Just that one in less than 3 days has 64,000.
And because they could tell that you were.
I had
affiliated.
100,000, so you're right.
Yeah.
But it's over. The one that I'm thinking about had over 100,000, but I think I know why I got jammed up. So I'm just gonna.
And the Phillies thing, like if they can tell that you're affiliated with the Phillies and DJing for them, like that's probably something that they might look at. There's a bunch of different reasons.
That's how Game Day found me was the Phillies reels. But
see, so there you go. Like they're not transparent about how they're choosing to do things for certain people and not others.
I was talking to a DJ group that books people, and they were saying that especially with Instagram, there are a lot of things that they will eliminate for you for without telling you that you're being eliminated. So it's not just random chance like people can follow and be like, okay, now I can be approved. You almost have to have naturally a certain aesthetic to your profile or no strikes against it or something of that nature for it to be essentially approved. That's why
I told him,
approaching.
I was like, make sure you're watching because I didn't realize it at first. It said Instagram has a special thing for you, and it came down at the top just looking at an ad. So I just pushed it away the first time, and then it came back. And I was like, "All right, what the is this?" You know, why did I just bleep myself?
Yeah, you just censored yourself. Good
whatever.
work.
You're good.
Wow, it's
because you're at a radio station.
It's like because I'm right behind the desk, and I thought I was doing that. So I clicked on it, and I was like, "Wait a second, this can't be real, right?" So I just started doing a couple, and the first month I made like $100. I was like, "Wow, there's actually money in this."
Yep.
So they offered to me again, and I was like, "All right, I'm going to take this for real."
I did it for 6 months. I did it for 6 months.
I think over time I made like
they could do that. Well, yeah, they can.
for Instagram. Yeah, if you stop participating in the program, they'll just take it away from you.
Okay.
So I made just through doing reels, I made like $600.
Yeah.
And it was for like nothing. I had one of my cats.
Yep.
And my one cat vinyl, it went. I think I had 26,000 views.
I think that's the problem though too, is if you're not like sticking on brand with what it is that you're doing, that affects you in a negative sense.
I got so frustrated with all the social media stuff, and that's why I'm going straight to email subscribers because you'll never lose emails.
Right.
I mean, people always have their email.
Yeah.
The Instagram and the TikTok with their algorithm, it's so fickle. Look at how flyers are the worst way to promote anything now. It is such a bad way to promote anything, except what I do love is the thing that you guys do where you have something pinned to your profile that gives you all the dates for the month.
The calendar.
That way when people want to see where you're at, they can see it and they're like, cool, I'm going to go there, which is, I do that when I'm like, oh, I'm going to go out tonight. Let's see where everybody is. I'll go to everybody's profile and I'll go, cool, this is where we're going.
Yeah.
I love
stopped
that.
posting my schedule, actually.
Dude, I love that. Please do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. That way I could see, that way I could come see you play somewhere.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, if you're going to promote a place, like say that someone's listening and says that like, hey, I don't know what else to post but flyers. That's how it's always been or something like that. What would you do with your background?
I got a random gig at the Lada's courthouse, like the courtyard, and I just did a reel where my buddy was at the gym and I was letting the weight crush him. So and I was just like, hey, I'm going to be at Lada's tonight.
And he's like struggling to pick something up. He's like, hey, I need a spot. He's like, I'm promoting my gig. That was real.
He was actually going to die.
It's just me making like
it looks
chicken
so
nuggets.
organic too. It looks really funny.
So like that's what I'll do if I need to promote something. You do a flyer, so that people know like the information that they need to know, but it's not a great way to promote necessarily. Like I don't know how many people, number one, you can see the interaction on them. It's garbage. You get more interaction I get more story views for it than I do the actual post, right?
Yeah.
So you get the story views, people know where you're at, but honestly, it doesn't work the only thing that I've seen actually work when you're trying to do something like that is hitting up people individually.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've seen actually work.
The reason, I don't want to say the reason why
you got to post flyers so that people know where you are, and if they're and you got to put something out there. But people act like that's the content, and people act like that's what's going to bring people out, and it's not.
Right.
I think consistently posting through your story, just telling people like, hey, this is going to happen. Hey, this is going to happen.
Sometimes I'll just post in plain text over a black screen on my story instead of a flyer. Hey, this Friday, JJ Bootleggers, Nuggets Bingo.
What I've been doing recently is I'll make a weekly rundown, even if it's 1 or 2 gigs, and then I'll put the rundown, and then the next 2 story posts will be where I'm at Friday, where I'm at Saturday. Like that's what I have to do this week.
Boom.
And it's easy. And then
boom.
And then what I'll do that like probably tonight, and then I'll do it again Friday night, and then I'll do it again Saturday, but like cross out the thing and then put the next day the flyer.
What I did this week for Nuggets Bingo was I made a different flyer for each day of the week, and I put them all in one slideshow, and that got me a little bit more interaction than normal, which was good. But again, Are you
using trendy audio for it?
No one is coming out from these flyers.
Yeah, you're right.
It's all people that I'm either hitting up personally or now people from the email blast.
Oh, really?
That's what's bringing people out, and that's why I'm pushing it
You're
so
going
hard.
old school.
That's old school is the new. Everything else is oversaturated. More people come out for me carnival barking outside of JJ's going, hey, we're playing bingo and I'm buying the drinks if you win. That is getting way more people out.
I think what he's onto, and I don't whether or not you're noticing it, I think personal interaction means a lot more to most people when they want to get involved. Because a lot of the times where I tell like people about coming out for that Wednesday or Thursday that we do everything, it's just like texting, like you said, it's not the forefront of the conversation. It ends up being something that's almost said like subconsciously.
Right, because I can always tell Kurt will hit me up, hey man, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'll come to poor Kurt, Jesus Christ.
I don't get those. I don't get those texts, Kurt.
No, I think like I would prefer to see you out in public and be like, dude, I wanted to talk to you. What's going on with this thing that you're talking about or whatever it might be. Before it's like the last thing I'll say before you leave, like, dude, I would love to, or whoever it is, I'd love to see you again. If you have nothing going on next week, please, it would mean the world to me just for you to stop by. When you make it much more personable with people versus just random text or whatever.
But you can't
I think
do that if you're anybody. Like I can't say that to somebody because people will be like, "Go fuck yourself." But with him, you actually believe it because he means it.
Yeah.
When he says it would mean the world to me, it actually will mean the world to him. But like me and Tonka, if we're going out saying it would mean the world to us, everybody's like, "Get out of here, guys."
But you know what's funny though? I actually get good response because like when the first pop punk party I did, I was so nervous. I was like, it's a 4-hour party, right? And I'm like, that's a lot of pop punk, right? That's a lot. So I'm playing like multiple genres of it because there's, I shouldn't say genres. There's just different personalities of it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, 4 hours is way too long. So I've cut it back. It's only a 2.5-hour party now.
Good.
But every time someone came out to that first one, I had a Spotify list playing for like the first hour where I was controlling it through my phone. So I can say hi to everyone that walked in the door. Yeah. Say hi, thank you for coming. It means a lot to me. And then everybody that stayed to the end, I'm like, hey guys, like, thank you so much. We're going to go to Garage. I'm going to buy a round for everybody that came and stuck around.
Nice.
Why don't you come hang out? You know what I mean? Because Garage is like right near there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, or something like that. I'm thanking everybody that I see that comes in the door. And the same thing happened when I didn't see y'all. Everybody, when I did my set, I came down off the stage.
Yeah.
And people that I even know came up to me like, oh my God, I just saw this on the billboard today. I wish I knew about it longer. I would have got more of my house to come. This was so awesome. Like, I don't even know them. Like, I just gained followers from it, and people are just like, "Yo, this is so cool." And like, it was just a cool experience, and that personal, you're showing that personal attention like Kurt does. It means a lot to people. Yeah, to be honest. And I have people that bought my merch that came out and wore all the Tonka shirts too, which was fucking awesome. It made me feel so cool.
To accredit you, and I think this goes for almost anybody, when you're throwing something like that, you are a host. You're almost attending or two, like whoever you're inviting in. You need to treat them and make them feel like they're really worth. Like, all of that is going to be like, when we're done, or Nugget has me at bingo, or blah blah blah. People are going to ask me how it is, and I'm like I really liked it, but he's really great at this. He's really great at that. I think we can add to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you can make people feel welcome to your event, I think, and when people want to add to it, that's where the real value, in my opinion, kind of
I think the personal touch is what a lot of places are lacking now too.
Absolutely.
Like,
that's why you came out. You were doing it on a shitty night at JJ's. I think it was a terrible night. But normally, me going out front and telling people, like, I'll just get people that are coming around the thing. We've had, even in the summer, almost 100 people in there for bingo.
Oh, wow.
At JJ's, yeah. Jacked. Big shout out to Jacked. They do an awesome job because there's two of them. It's a DJ duo.
Yeah.
They will take different sides of Market Street and they will go up to people for half an hour straight and just get people in there. They get way more people in there than me.
Them.
I need to start paying people, like, really good looking women. If you're a really good looking woman, I need to give you my money.
This is not
for that, to like go out.
This is not a host service. Okay? No escort service.
But
here.
I need to do that and like have them on different corners and stuff. Have women on different corners.
You're digging yourself a hole here, pal.
Getting people to come in. So that is the old school ways. I bet if you flyered people's cars, I bet that would work better.
My barber
than
used to do that when he moved it to a new location. He used to have his little brother go out and flyer cars and flyer people's doors,
dude.
And it built him where he is today.
I think because all the new ways of marketing are so overdone, I think the old ways are the way to go.
I saw someone handing out Chinese takeout menus going down Umbria the other day,
dude.
And that's why they're so flourishing in this neighborhood.
If you are going to do the social media thing and concentrate on that, the best thing you can do, and this is what I did for my YouTube channel for our podcast, is I hired somebody from college, paid them $50 a week, and had them consistently posting content. Changing the title on it, like just reusing it. I paid a consultant a one-time fee to work with the college kid that was the editor and poster of all this stuff. And I didn't even have to do anything. The consultant would tell them how to post and when to post. They did it all. And then I just give them $50 a week, and then I'm just like sitting back and letting them do all the content.
That's incredibly important, because now with the merch, I went drop shipping where I didn't have to remember what you were telling me, what you're doing, your merch. Yeah. I don't want to have to refocus my attention from taking away from what I want to do.
That's what demotivates you to keep doing it.
Right.
And that's what I told you. Well, I don't want to on podcast, but like with the video stuff, it's just easier to be able to, like we had said with the phone, if you can simplify it and you're getting some sort of return on it, I feel like that's what motivates you to want to do it. You're probably not seeing that, and you put a lot of effort into doing it.
Our YouTube went from 300 subscribers to 1,000 in 3 months because I just like had this, and subscribers are so much more fickle than like Instagram followers.
Mm-hmm. Are you still doing the podcast?
Yeah, I'm taking summers off because number one, it's too busy. Number two, nobody gives a shit about anything in the summer, it seems like, except for going down the shore. So it was just a lot.
And that's what I think I kind of dropped the ball is I mentioned on the podcast before episode 20 that I was going to take it down the shore and call it the On the Bay edition. And I was going to record people down the shore.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I think
it gets too busy.
It is, man.
It gets too busy,
and like,
dude.
Mondays, I don't want to do a thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't do anything. But if like this Monday, I'm usually down the shore, but I wasn't. I was in Philly, and I still did absolutely
When did you start
nothing.
this?
The podcast?
Yeah.
26 weeks ago.
Yeah, so it hasn't been long enough. So for me, I had been doing it long enough to where I felt comfortable calling it a season. So now we're doing seasons, and it'll start back up in the fall.
Right.
And have the opener be like
Well, that was the thing. I was going to shut it off episode, I think like 21 or 22, and then it'll be a new season.
Next year, do you think you'll do that?
I think so, because like I think my plan is for next summer is to eventually be able to practically live down there.
Nice.
And be able to do that. Where I'm down there more. Right now, I'm down there Sunday. If I'm not working, I'm down there Sunday, Monday, come home Monday night or Tuesday morning, where I usually record on Wednesdays, right? So it's like, yeah, today's Wednesday. so like if I'm working down there, though, I'm there Saturday,
Are we still
Sunday.
recording, by the way?
Yeah, I think so.
Just check. Is there like stuff going on in that?
Yeah,
computer?
yeah, there's stuff going
Just
on.
making sure.
Yeah, we're hour 30 in.
It'd be bad if we
missed everything. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? That's happened. I've had 40 minutes cut out of the episode because I actually hit spacebar with my elbow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we had to go back and remember what we talked about. I think we ruined the end of. I had a famous graffiti artist on, and I think we ruined the whole episode.
He hates you.
He probably does. He probably hates me right now. He hasn't talked to me since.
Yeah. Luckily, if this one stops, I'm already on 5 other ones.
Yeah. So people can keep ridiculing you. So if you're still on listening to this hour 30 in, go to the Instagram page, the picture of me, Nugget, and Kurt. If you want to hear Kurt back on another episode, put a Y in the comments. If you want to not hear him on the episode anymore, put an N in the comments. We did that last time and no one said anything, so I guess they wanted him back.
Well, it's because you did it deep enough into the episode. Now,
Yeah,
if you do it at the beginning, you're going to see
I'm gonna
him.
start doing it in the beginning of the episode. But this is a good spot to wrap it up. But when we came in to iHeart, you said you wanted to save it for the podcast. You remember what it was? Because I don't remember it. I remember you said something.
I wanted to ask you guys: do you think you make more money in the summer with all these shore gigs, or during the fall winter?
Fall. Oof. Yeah, but the summer's too much traveling. So
Yeah,
it's like
so
eating out, drinking,
I bought the
like all
shore
that
house and
stuff.
everything.
Yeah.
I think I kind of balanced out in the summer, but I think
Isn't
the
there
summer
part of
kind
that
of
that's
balanced
really
out.
frustrating to you?
What's that?
Isn't that really frustrating to you?
Yeah, because last year I think I saved enough to buy my room in the shore house. So I saved with DJing like $6-7 grand just DJing the summer because I was doing so much. My savings looks nothing like that now.
Between gas, toll, just
and I'm
like
spending so much money,
and
more
time.
money now.
Like especially if you're working down the shore, it's
And
like
Kurt,
I won't do an afternoon party if I know.
Oh my god, dude! Like I told him I was like, he had a gig at Deauville, came back, did Wicked Wolf, had to go do Deauville again the next day, then exit 6. I'm like, go to my house
and I DJ
shower.
Friday night too.
Go to my house and shower. It's on the way.
A lot of it's
take
just
care
like
of yourself.
it's primarily the reason why I don't get really messed up at like most. Like I'm pretty particular about when I have a drink, but I don't even think I think I might have had one drink with food over the weekend, and I was just like, man, I was by 3 o'clock in the morning Sunday. I was.
Did you drive home Sunday?
Aaron did. Razor came with me, so I took like a 20-minute nap, and then
he's
woke
a trooper, that guy.
I'm just interested to see where all these gigs fall. Like it's so interesting to me every time summer's over and seeing Philly. Like if you remember last fall, once everybody came back from the shore, an entire different side of Broad was the popular side of Broad.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane to you guys? Like, are you guys just used to that? How much it
well,
shuffles?
Well, it's like
we're used to that.
You know what
we're
I mean?
used
Like
to that when
change.
Porta was open, which is now Wicked Wolf. That area was popping like in the fall, spring, and then in the summer, it kind of.
And then it's like
nosedive,
and then it never comes back.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird, man.
That's got to be
Philly's
terrifying
a
if you're a bar manager, if you're opening a bar.
I think people know it well. I mean, at least
And there's a reason why you see
within-
cutback with a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we all know right now, right? Well, you know what you're probably doing for the next couple of months, though. Maybe.
Well, for me now, I'm doing all my own. Like I'm not really booking myself to DJ any like regular gigs.
Ignore me. Yeah. All right. Cool.
So it's
I'm
way
booked
different for me this year.
I'm booked till October.
Yeah.
Right now. I haven't. I got a couple October bookings, but nothing like crazy yet.
I'm Monday through Friday now, and I'm probably going to keep my Saturdays and Sundays open.
That makes sense.
I'm not going to book myself
I'm
unless somebody
gonna be
reaches
honest,
out to
man,
like do something cool.
If I kind of had my thing going and like a niche thing, I would take like a Saturday off every now and then.
Yeah,
but I
and
can't.
you would just
I can't
focus on
afford
that.
to.
Why if let's say pop punk was just it, and you could pack it out
It's coming
anytime
back
you did
around, so hopefully it does.
Yeah, like why do any other gigs? Why not just fully invest into your shit?
Money.
I have too many bills.
Yeah,
Well,
money.
no, that's
Unless you make
ideally,
My house and my car payment alone is $2,000.
ideally pop punk should make you more than any other gig that you can get.
Yeah, but it's
your
so
concept.
nichey, bro. Like it's very nichey. Like I want to do it at Wicked Wolf.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't think it's the right venue for it, to be honest. Like, cause like when I think of that music, I think of like a dingy, maybe like hipster kind of place. So that's why Stateside Vodka's bar works perfectly.
It's not wrong because atmosphere does mean a lot.
Right.
To
It
like
holds
what it is you're
75
doing.
people, which is
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
And they pay me my rate, and it's only 2.5 hours. They pay me my full rate.
That's the thing. You should, for this thing, at some point, get a cut of the bar, plus a flat fee. because it's your shit.
Yeah. Well, no. So this is where the Tonka teas come in. That started me.
Tonka teas, is that where like you like make fun of people?
No, Tonka teas. I actually make my own drink at Stateside.
Oh, Tonka teas.
Yeah, teas. Yeah.
No, I was thinking Tonka like, you've just been a victim of
teas.
Tonka teas.
I knew what he meant, and I just started laughing because I was waiting for you to catch on.
Oh no, I caught it. No, so kind of like how Smooth has his own drink. Stateside, I'm sorry, like I hate them for this. They won't bottle mine, but so when I do my event at Stateside, they make the drink for people to buy. And it's black cherry Surfside. So it's black cherry iced tea.
You got a double sponsorship in one. You got 2 drinks to be 1 drink.
Yeah.
And
so
he's like, yeah, that's great.
So when my first one I did, they sold 74 of them.
Dude.
Right. And like, so my thing was, my next party there, I want to get a cut of that.
Yeah, you have to.
Imagine if it was only $1 a per.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's an insane special. Like, it's for 2 of those cans is normally what, like $18?
Yeah.
So they'll sell it for $9, which is you're getting 2 drinks for the price of 1, and they get you fucked up.
It's really good.
I think the one. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
They get you like so fucked up because it's 2 5%.
Yeah.
cans
Anytime you're doing
poured
2
into
of
one thing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great. I love that.
Yeah,
That
it's like
was-
a 4 Loco.
That was the one thing to get that I felt like what I needed to do at Pour, and most people don't even know this. You get, I think, 10 or 11 cans of Sea Isle for $40.
Oh, wow.
Which is an insane deal. So I think like we're missing out kind of probably on that. But I mean, think of the shenanigans party that I used to do. Everything was $1.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether or not you're a good DJ. People are just going to be like, we're going to get it. And then adding entertainment to that only value, really makes everything really great. So if I had a suggestion, if you wanted to build bingo or whatever, whatever sponsor you can get to be
Well,
like,
I've got
hey,
a vodka seltzer that's sponsoring it.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
it's
you're
got
like,
a
hey,
new guy coming to
$2
Philly.
drinks, people are going to be like, oh, I don't even care what's going on.
They
I'm like,
aren't doing that.
You get what I'm
But
saying.
what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing is they're providing the prizes. So like the first drink that you get for free, it's these guys, and I
Yeah.
give out their thing, and they pay me. They are paying me monthly to do it. So they pay me per location that I have them at, and so that is like that's what I
good. I
see
know
you
what you
guys
mean.
doing. I see you doing it with Pop
Yeah.
Punk, and I see you doing it with Pour. Like something that's so ingrained where you're really helping their product out, and so they're giving you a cut. Like there's no reason that, especially once you start to really get a following of people,
Like,
they're just coming out because
Right.
it's your shit. There's no reason.
I just
why
don't want to do
making,
my party weekly. Like, I kind of want to do a Kurt's do
depending on
it
how
once a
far
month.
it is from other locations that you're
Right.
doing it.
If it was in a different state, I could do it weekly.
What if
Yeah.
it was just one night in the Northeast and one night in Manayunk and one night in South Philly?
I don't know, man. That's risky.
Why?
That's risky.
You think that the people in South Philly are really going to come to the one in the Northeast?
No, God, no.
So you're fine.
All right.
Do
I'll
it,
think
man.
about
Do
it.
video. Do what I'm saying and do
So
video for
Nugget
the
wants me to do
podcast.
video. I'm going to start doing video very soon. I promise.
Yeah.
I think I'll start with my first live episode. I think because that first
Sick.
live episode is going to be start of season 2 in September.
Great.
So
I can show you. There's an app on your phone that turns it into a webcam to where you can live stream.
yeah,
just
I know
using
that
your
one.
phone.
Yep. Awesome. All right, cool. So this is a good spot to wrap it up.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Kurt, for making the trek. I know you had a lot of stuff to do today. I appreciate you. Nugget, aka Sam. Thank you for
AKA Sam.
Yeah. you're-
Some people call, also known as Sam. Some people.
Who calls you Sam?
My
though?
mom,
probably
when
his
she gets
parents.
annoyed with me, she'll be like, "Oh, sorry, you don't have enough time for your mother, Nugget."
Yeah, that's right. You told me that. Yeah. My dad. I don't think my dad has ever called me Tonka. To be honest. with you.
Yep.
But it's a good spot to wrap it up. I appreciate you guys having. I need water.
I can edit that and make it sound legit.
No,
I can
it's
edit
fine.
that and make it
I don't
sound so
edit
good.
this at all. I only edit out
Put
certain
reverb
parts.
on it.
Little reverb. No, I don't need that.
Did it turn it into like a remix of Heartless?
Oh God! Make sure you follow my buddy Kurt on Instagram at courtesy of the link will be in the description. Nugget, do you have a website? Do you want me to put in the description for Nuggets Bingo?
Yeah, you could go to nuggetsbingo.com.
Nuggetsbingo.com. Link
Yeah.
will be in the description. Make sure you check them out if you're in the Philadelphia area. Make sure you follow me. Is it Nugget on air? Or
Nugget
DJ?
on air, and then the Get Your Life Together podcast starts back up soon.
Yeah, I'll put the link for all his stuff in the description. Link for my stuff, as always, will be in the description as well, at Talkin with Tonka on Instagram and at DJ Tonka_. Thank you all for tuning in to episode 26 here on location at iHeartMedia. Thank you, Nugget, for letting me into your house. This has been a great episode. See you guys next week. Peace.
See you guys next week.
Oh, yeah, I should have said who next week was. But now it's just Spacebar?